Thank you.
Okay, next speaker, Deputy Ríordáin.
Ministers, my fellow newly elected MEPs, and especially to Noreen Keogh from our office who watches in the gallery. If you get the privilege of being elected to Dáil Éireann, you enter probably the most famous room in Ireland. When myself and my Labour Party colleagues were elected here in 2011, we were so conscious that every word we uttered in here would be recorded forever, and in generations to come our descendants will be able to read what we said. It made every early intervention quite nerve-wracking, and I must admit to always rising to my feet in this chamber with a sense of mild anxiety. But as has been said, the Oireachtas staff have always made working here a proud and inspiring experience. So if this is my last contribution, which bookends my time here, I would like my daughters Anna and Sive perhaps to read these words in time and be proud of them. What is unique about this chamber in Ireland is that you cannot cast a vote in here unless you've been elected directly by the people. You can be co-opted to a local authority, the Stormont Assembly, or indeed the European Parliament. You can be appointed to the Seanad, but you can only sit and vote in this chamber if you are directly elected by the people. And I want to thank my constituents in Dublin North Central and Dublin Bay North for granting me this honour. Thinking of my infant daughters reading these words in years to come makes me want to emphasise that we can only ask of each other to trust our best and most generous of instincts. We must always in politics and in life invest in the humanity ingrained in each other's hearts, and we must strive to care, to empower, and yes, to love. Politics must be always about improving people's lives, about the sharing of ideas, the promise of the future, the recognition of that basic humanity that supersedes any difference that is emphasised by those less generous amongst us. The challenges we face are huge. Climate breakdown, the waging of war, the commercialisation of division, the trumpeting of hate, the inequality that forces so many of our vulnerable citizens, and especially children, into the shadows. As President Higgins once said when explaining the Irish seanchal Ar Scath Chéile a Warren Nadini, the people live in each other's shadow, the word ska can also mean shelter. So we must live in each other's shelter, not cast each other into shadows. We cannot allow shadows to emerge where cold and hunger and distrust can fester, but provide shelter for family, for learning, for laughter, and for love. House our people, engage their minds, set them free, freedom that a flag will never provide. And that's why the European Union is so important. A union that puts the narrowness of nationalism to one side and seeks to empower, to enhance, and yes, to shelter. A union based on equality, freedom, dignity, workers' rights, and common humanity and unity. We all come from somewhere, a family, a community. We're all raised by our own little village. As I pack away the boxes from my Leinster House office, I can't help but feel a flood of emotion as the cards, the letters, the mementos of past battles, campaigns and friendships re-emerge from the shelves. Tomorrow is the first anniversary of the passing of my father, Sean O'Riordan. My daughters are too young to have known him, but part of the healing process of loss is that a mirror is held up to your own life, your failings, the hurt you've caused, and your worth. I can only thank those for the last 20 years in Council, Dáil, Seanad and European elections who looked beyond those deficits of mine and saw in what I've tried to promote a value system, an ethic that is worth fighting for. And I'm very thankful to the people of Dublin for electing me as their MEP last month. We can only strive to do better, to be more honest, to listen more, to learn more, to soften our hearts and open our minds. Politics and politicians must learn from the past but not be imprisoned by it. It is always about the future, about who needs the future most, and of that ancient, enduring, instinctive cry from within the heart of each of us to dare to care. So for me, this is the turning of a corner, not the end of a road. You can't travel any journey worth travelling alone. We need each other more than we're willing to admit it. Mar Aodhán ar fad, scath chéile ó Warren na daoine.